Lo que vamos a hacer ahorita, en principio, es dar la oportunidad de hacer un podcast en el que estamos haciendo este live. I don't know why that's on. Es lo primero. So, vamos a hacer un podcast mientras que estamos haciendo esto. Y lo que vamos a hacer es, van a preguntarme a mí preguntas a la gente que está aquí con nosotros y también pueden ustedes hacer preguntas. Pero vamos a hablar de diferentes cosas para que me puedan conocer y pueden saber quién soy. Y esto también lo vamos a mandar a email a todos para que puedan ver lo que pasó esta noche. Ok, so vamos a empezar ahorita con lo que son preguntas. Y la gente les va a decir su nombre que está trabajando conmigo y va a hacer su pregunta y yo les voy a tratar de contestar diferentes cosas en diferentes áreas para que puedan conocerme. Ok, ahora vamos a esto. Ok, ¿quién quiere empezar con preguntas? I'll just jump out at once.
Oh, man. What's your purpose, like, with this? Like, what's your, like, goal?
You talk loud. If you're able to hear you. First of all, what's your name?
Michelle.
Michelle. You're the one who doesn't do anything.
Correct.
Okay. So ahorita Michelle me está haciendo una pregunta y quiere saber por qué hago esto, por qué empecé a hacer esto. Entonces le voy a decir, desde chico yo todo el tiempo podía ver cosas, sentía cosas y al mismo tiempo pasaban cosas alrededor de mí. Y mis papás pensaban que estaba loco, entonces yo lo veía ir y traté de esconderlo por mucho tiempo hasta que tuve unos 20 y luego en eso empezó otra vez. La razón que lo hago es que a mí me pasó una cosa que me quitó la vida y al salir de eso encontré unas cartas que escuché que eran de mi amigo y las empecé a tirar. Entonces para mí me decía todo. Entonces un día yo fui con un brujo que estaba ahí esperando y me llegó una señora y me dijo que me había soñado. Y me dijo que en el sueño que ella había traído a su hija que se estaba muriendo en ese tiempo y no sabían por qué. Y el doctor no le encontró nada. Y me dijo que soñó conmigo que yo la ayudé. Y entonces yo nunca le había dicho a nadie que pudiera tirar las cartas o podía ver cosas. Y le dije que estaba equivocada, que ella estaba mal, que yo no hacía esas cosas. Entonces me dijo, por favor ayúdame, es por mi hija, mi hija se está muriendo. Y mi historia me dice que tú no puedes ayudar. Entonces le dije, ¿sabes qué? Ok, aquí estoy cerca, pero nunca he hecho nada para nadie, solamente para mí. Entonces le dije, puedes seguirme y ir a mi apartamento y podemos checar las cartas. Entonces llegamos allí y chequé las cartas y me di cuenta de muchas cosas y por qué se estaba muriendo su hija. Entonces sí le ayudé y ayudarle, como te digo, ella me agradeció porque no estaba con su esposo en ese tiempo, entonces todo lo que le dije iba a pasar mientras que ella hacía todo lo que le decía que tenía que hacer. Y así lo hizo. En 2 semanas regresó su esposo y se abrió a su hija. Entonces, después de eso, me empezó a llegar más personas. Por esa señora que le hizo a muchas personas y empezaron a hablar por todos lados y entonces tenía mucho clientel. Pero lo hago porque hay gente que necesita ayuda en realidad. Y hay cosas que hacen, nosotros seres humanos somos seres humanos, pero nosotros hacemos cosas muchas veces sin pensarlo y nos afectan no nomás a nosotros, pero nos afecta también a lo que son nuestros hijos. Eso es importante saber lo que haces, o si estás tratando de hacer brujería o magia o algo. Hay que tener mucho cuidado porque eso sí se puede regresar. Pero la razón que lo hago es que yo creo que Dios me encomendó a la gente para que puedan salir adelante y salir de sus problemas y para tal vez también ayudarlos a ellos mismos.
I think your wife has a question. She asked, like, do you believe in God and why do you believe in Him?
Mi esposa en el cuarto está preguntando si yo creo en Dios y por qué creo en Él. Yo creo que sabiendo lo que yo tengo, yo siempre he creído en Dios, pero yo no creo que Dios está en religión. Yo no creo que Dios es algo de lo que son cualquier hombre. Dios yo creo que está adentro de todos nosotros. Es lo que tú sientes adentro, lo de que es bueno y lo que es malo. Y yo pienso que Dios quiere tener una relación con todos, mientras que nosotros seguimos lo que son sus comandos o sus commandments, los 10 commandments, estamos bien. La religión yo pienso que es muy corrupto, muchas cosas han pasado, pero yo creo en Dios porque no nomás eso, me ha ayudado en toda mi vida, en las cosas que yo quiero, y cuando yo no quería hacer las cosas como Él quería, me enseñó una lección, que de ahí me hice muy humilde, y después de eso hice todo lo que Él quería, y mi vida ha crecido y crecido. Sí, yo creo en Dios más que todo. Entonces, si tú me preguntabas a mí si yo escogiera a mi hijo o mi esposa sobre Dios, yo te dijera que no. Yo escogí a Dios primero y luego a mi esposa, a mi hijo. Así tiene que ser siempre. ¿Ok?
Card reading's bad.
Ok. So, yo pienso si tú eres una persona que vas porque te leen las cartas y tienes el intento de ser mal, para mí yo pienso que eso es mal. Ahora, si tú eres una persona que alguien te ha hecho un daño, o te ha hecho un trabajo, o se está metiendo en tu vida, o están tratando de destruir tu vida, y vas con alguien que te lee las cartas para que te ayuda, yo creo que hay gente que Dios puso en este mundo, como yo, y como otras personas que yo sé que creen mucho en Dios, que nos dio ¿cómo se dice?, los dones para poder ayudar, para poder sacarlos de lo que es el infierno, donde hacen la gente magia negra. So, tirarte las cartas depende de la razón que tú te las quieres tirar. Si las estás tirando porque quieres saber de tu vida o cuáles decisiones deben ser o no ser, yo no pienso que eso es mal. Es como una guía. Y siempre por tiempo, ha habido muchos, ¿cómo se llaman? Prophets o gentes que te dicen lo que va a pasar en el mundo o lo que viene, hasta los reyes. Profetas. Hasta los reyes de diferentes países también lo mismo, tenían alguien que les ayudaba a ver lo que venía o cómo se protegían. Entonces no creo que, para mí no es mal si tu intento no es mal. Si lo estás haciendo porque le quieres hacer daño a alguien, o estás haciendo porque quieres hacer algo contra alguien, entonces para mí sí eso es malo. Pero yo creo que Dios quería ayudar a la gente que está aquí, porque el diablo puede hacer lo que él quiere. Entonces, haciendo magia negra, amarrando a una persona, lo estás amarrando al infierno. ¿Y cómo Dios los iba a sacar si están ahí contra su voluntad? Entonces, eso no es algo que es bueno. So, yo no pienso que es malo tirando las cartas. Dependiendo en lo que tu actitud y lo que tú quieres hacer. ¿Otra cosa?
¿Cómo sabes si estás haciendo trabajos, white magic y trabajos negros?
Porque si estás haciendo trabajos y sabes hacer magia, hay diferentes cosas que tienes que llamar. Entonces, si tú estás haciendo un trabajo y le estás llamando a lo que es el diablo de abajo, estás fumando puros, usando agujas, haciendo diferentes cosas para que él te pueda decir lo que va a pasar. Pero con todo eso es algo que paga malo. Entonces, si tú estás poniendo velas negras o estás poniendo un trabajo para amarrar a una persona contra su voluntad o estás tratando, es la diferencia de un endulcimiento y amarrar a alguien. Amarrar a alguien es contra su voluntad. Endulzarlo es dándote la oportunidad para que él te pueda conocer mejor y te da la oportunidad. Es diferente. Pero hay malo y negro. Si tú quieres una persona que está rodeada enfrente de tus pies, entonces eso es magia negra. Ahora, la contra de eso es que si tú le regresas algo a una persona y regresan a tus pies o si regresan a rodeados, eso no es magia negra, porque eso es lo que hicieron ellos. Tú nomás estás limpiando lo que hicieron ellos y regresándoselo. So, eso es lo que te puedo decir de cómo puedes saber de lo que es negro y blanco. Todo lo que encomienda humo de tabaco, muchas veces hay bueno y malo para cuando matan a animales, dependiendo de lo que es el trabajo. Para hacer una limpia o una persona erogación de cabeza, matando un pájaro, un pigeon, un dove, algo así, es ofreciéndole algo a Dios. Ahora, haciendo tu trabajo donde tienes que pagar con sangre, es ofreciéndoselo a lo que es el diablo. So, esa es la manera que te puedes dar cuenta.
Does the Bible not have verses that condemn like witchcraft and all those who practice it?
La Biblia sí tiene cosas que dice que no deben de ser esto. Pero también en la Biblia habla mucho de la gente que sí hacía esto. y que ayudaba, porque había alguien que adivinaba para Dios. Entonces es muy difícil saber, y como digo yo, siempre en todo hay bueno y hay malo. Y para mí el intento que tú tienes es la dirección que yo creo que Dios no quiere que vayas. Si tú puedes lograr algo por hacer algo negro y ofrecerle al diablo, entonces eso no es bueno. Pero si estás ayudando a una persona a salir de algo, entonces eso es diferente. Eso es ayudarlos para que puedan regresar con Dios. Y si tú los estás tratando de regresar con Dios, entonces ¿cómo puede ser malo eso? Pero sí hay verses en la Biblia que dice que no deben de hacer esto, no deben saber alguien así. Pero acuérdense que también en la Biblia hay páginas y hay diferentes libros que ser humano hombre sacó de lo que es la Biblia y los tienen guardados. Tomás, ellos nomás están dejándote ver lo que ellos quieren que veas. Y muchas de estas Biblias han cambiado lo que dicen, lo que son los versos de lo que son las Biblias. Porque los han cambiado a la manera que ellos quieren, que les sirva a ellos mejor. Para mí yo no creo que porque está en la Biblia es escrito. La única cosa que Dios puso en este mundo que es escrito son los 10 Commandments. Esas son las leyes que Él puso para la vida del ser humano. Entonces, si esas son las leyes y no está ahí y no está escrito, entonces estás bien. Right?
¿Cómo puedo saber si alguien me está haciendo brujería?
Puedes saber, pues hay cosas que te van a indicar. Si tú estás bien ansiosa, si tú tienes depresión, al mismo tiempo si te estás levantando entre las 12 de las 4 de la mañana en este tiempo, te están haciendo brujería porque te están trabajando. A esas cosas te indican lo que está pasando. Y si sientes angustia y ansiedad y todas esas cosas, y es fuerte, sabes que te están trabajando. La otra manera que te puedes dar cuenta es ir con alguien que te pueda leer las cartas para chequear a ver si tienes algo. O va y hágate una limpia de huevo. Si haces una limpia de huevo, en el huevo te va a enseñar que hay un trabajo o no hay un trabajo. Si lo que es lo blanco pega arriba y está conectado todavía, tienes un trabajo. Si tú misma puedes hacerte una limpia con un huevo por todo tu cuerpo, québralo en un vaso de agua y vea lo que pasa con lo que es el huevo y lo que es lo de arriba del agua. Si hay burbujas, te están absorbiendo. Si hay blanco que está tachado, son velaciones o son trabajos. Y si hay muchas, ya te tienen bien amarrada. Eso puedes chequear o eso puedes darte cuenta.
How do you know that you're talking to God? Like, is there a distinct voice? Is there distinct signs?
So that's a very good question. Someone in English asked, right?
No, I'm asking.
Oh. Okay.
No one's asking.
Okay.
I would actually like to know that too.
Okay, so how do you know you're talking to God? ¿Cómo sabes si estás hablando con Dios? Tú tienes que saber cuando tú hablas con Dios que en principio, mientras que tú estás 50-50 o lejana de hablando con Dios, que nunca te va a contestar. Pero la voz que tú vas a oír, va a haber la voz que tú oyes dentro de tu mente. Él no te va a hablar en voz alta, pero tú vas a oírlo cuando Él te habla, como si está hablándote en voz alta. Pero está en lo que es en tu cabeza, te está indicando las cosas que debes de ser o no debes de ser. Entonces, tú te das cuenta porque sientes el cuerpo bien livianito, como que ya me lo estás, how do you say floating?
¿Elevando?
¿Cómo?
That's wrong.
Es como si sientes como si estás bien liviano, como que ya no lo puedes flotear. Al mismo tiempo vas a sentir que se te sube el pelo cuando estás hablando con Él.
¿Flotante?
Okay.
¿Qué flota?
Okay. Esa es la manera que te puedes dar cuenta. Nunca vas a oír una voz en tu mente si tú piensas que es Dios que te va a decir debes hacer eso que es malo. Nunca. Tú vas a oír las cosas que tú debes de ser, no hablando de otras personas o lo que más. La voz que vas a oír va a ser clara y la voz de Dios es bien distinta. ¿Cómo te puedo decir? Te relaja, dependiendo. Si estás haciendo mal y te llegas a oír la voz de Dios, cuidado. Pero si tú estás bien con Dios y estás ayudando a personas o estás tratando de ayudar a la gente que tú puedes, Dios un día te habla. Como si estás rezando o estás meditating o lo que tú estás haciendo, Dios viene y te habla y te dice, hey, no has hecho esto, o vas a hacer esto, todavía estás pensando hacer esto, porque Él nunca te va a forzar. Pero Él sabe cuando Él quiere algo y tú estás trabajando con Él, que Él te va a pedir cosas. Y te pide cosas buenas. Eso es como tú sabes. Nunca te va a pedir, ve a hacer daño a esa mujer, o ve, quita al hombre de esa señora. Nunca te va a decir cosas así. Te va a decir, ¿cómo vas a arreglar esto? ¿Cómo vas a regresar a esa familia? Necesitan su papá, necesitan esto. Y te habla claramente. Y la voz te relaja. Ya menos, como te digo, sientes como que estás floteando.
When did you first hear God's voice?
La primera vez que yo pienso que yo oí la voz de Dios no era cuando estaba joven. Yo sentía cosas y sabía cosas, pero tenía tanto miedo de lo que sentía que no creo que tenía la paciencia ni el relajamiento para poder oírlo. Cuando yo traté de matarme, y eso es cuando traté de suicidarme, porque todas las cosas en mi vida estaban volteadas, porque no podía darme cuenta quién yo era, y estaba solo. Entonces, cuando yo pasé por eso, yo le pedí a Dios, mientras que me estaba muriendo, porque tenía las venas cortadas de las dos maneras, todavía tengo las cicatrices en las, ¿cómo se dicen? Las muñecas. Pero yo oí la voz de Dios después de eso. Cuando yo estaba en esa botánica, esperando que me tiraban las cartas, y me llegó esta mujer, y me seguía pidiendo, yo oí que Él me dijo, ayúdala, debes de ayudarla. Entonces eso es lo que me hizo la decisión para ayudarle. Es la primera vez que yo oí su voz, y en eso yo le pedí a Dios, porque tenía las muñecas cortadas de las dos maneras. Yo sabía que no hay regreso de eso, que me iba a morir. Entonces cuando ya se me estaba haciendo el cuerpo muy frío y ya no podía controlar mis manos porque estaban todas cortadas, ni mi cuerpo, le empecé a rezar a Dios y le pedí que yo hiciera todo lo que Él quería. Peleaba en guerras y contra el diablo y todo lo que podía hacer para que no me moría yo y todavía pudiera estar aquí por mis hijos. Entonces, cuando yo obviously passed out, como que se me fue la vida y ya no estaba, como no sé si se llama passed out, pero al levantarme desmayé. Cuando me desmayé, sí, me desmayé porque ya no sentía nada. Pues yo no sabía ya si estaba vivo o muerto. Pero el día siguiente amanecí apegado a lo que es al piso del baño por toda la sangre que tenía en la cara pegada a lo que es el piso, porque la sangre estaba así de gruesa en el baño. Entonces, después de eso me miré a las muñecas y no estaban normal, pero de una manera se cerraron. Y en eso yo sabía que era Dios. Yo sabía que Él me había guardado la vida. Cuando oí la voz de Él, 2 semanas después, cuando estaba en la botánica, esperando que me tiraran las cartas a mí y me llegó esa señora, es cuando yo supe que el trato que yo hice con Él era de verdad. Lo que Él me pida o lo que Él quiere de mí, yo lo hago. Especialmente si son para niños, porque eso es lo más grande para Él, son los niños, pero también a todos. Pero si una familia está separando, o cosas están pasando, o están deprimidos, o se quieren quitar la vida, especialmente eso porque me pasó a mí, yo voy a estar ahí para ellos, esas personas, para ayudarles. Sí.
Can you translate it?
So they're asking me, how do I know, or when did I first hear God's voice? And what I'm saying, let me get some water real quick.
Oh, that's Chuck, my bad.
Oh, that's true.
My bad.
Sorry, Chuck. So, first time I heard it wasn't when I was a kid. It was after I tried to take my life. And the reason I think I heard God's voice because while I was dying and I had my veins cut both ways, I still have the scars, and I knew I was going to die. I mean, I wanted to die. I didn't tell nobody. I didn't do anything. I knew I was going out. And as I was going out, I got really scared. And I started to shake, and my body was out of control. And I already had no control of my hands because the veins and the nerves had been completely cut. And so I knew I was done for. And as the life was leaving my body, I kind of started praying to God and asking Him if He would save me. And that if He would do that, I'd give up my life for Him. That I would pretty much do anything He asked. I'd fight in the wars. I'd fight against the devil. I'd do anything He wanted me to do. I'd become part of His army. I'd work for Him. I'd do anything. And then I remember passing out. I just remember the life going out of me. And when that happened, I didn't know if I was alive or dead because I couldn't feel or see anything or anything. It wasn't until the next day that I woke up, and in waking up with my face literally stuck to the bathroom floor because the blood was about that thick, I literally had a pill pull my face away from the floor to where I have still 3 scar marks on my face, which is a good reminder to me never to be that stupid again. But I knew at that moment that God had saved my life. I looked at my wrists, and they were nowhere close to healed. They were like big old welts. It looked like little volcanoes on my wrist from the skin that was shredded, and it was gruesome. But at the same time, they weren't bleeding anymore, and whatever blood I did have left in my body, I was trying to gain some strength to get up and move around. It was 2 weeks later that I went to a person who threw cards to see what was going to go on with my life, and I mean I already had kind of knew I could read cards. So when I went to this botanica, some woman approached me that I had never met before with her limp daughter's body in her arms, and asked me if I would help her because her daughter was dying, and that she had been to this guy that was a brujo that I was going to. She had been to him already like 10 times, and all he was doing was having sex with her. And that was just kind of disappointing. And then she said to me, please help me. And I said, no, you have me mistaken. I'm not that person. I don't do that. And it was right after that when she asked me again, and she said, please help me. I know it's you. You were in my dreams. Like, you help me, you help my daughter. You can change everything for my life. And I heard God say, help her. Go ahead and help her. Why don't you help her? And I took a deep breath and I told her, okay, follow me. And I took her back to my apartment. We had to walk about 4 blocks, and I carried her daughter to my apartment. And she came in, and she didn't have any money. She didn't have anything, but she said, she would be grateful. So I read her cards and found out exactly what was going on with the daughter. It was unfortunate that she, as a woman, had married this guy who has a son, and the son pretty much, she was jealous of him. So she took a black candle at midnight, and she was praying to the devil that he would kill her son. And like I said, when you do things, any type of magic, and you don't know what the hell you're doing, it'll come back on you. So it was after her daughter. I mean, they couldn't find anything wrong with her daughter, but she was dying. And so that same spell that turned on her hit her daughter. And so she had to do some things that I asked her to do. I gave the daughter a cleaning, which I don't remember how I did it. It was the first time, and I just, whatever God was telling me in my mind, I put together, and she came back. She started walking within a week. This woman had lost her husband. There were 6 girls. They were all her daughters. They were living in an apartment with no refrigerator, no food, not even money to wash because the man had left them, and the little girl was dying. It was just heartbreaking. So I helped her, and in helping her, I realized at that moment that things were going to change, and they did. This woman went and told everyone, and I had people coming to me for good stuff and crazy stuff, and some stuff I turned down, but that's how I heard God's voice, and that's how I knew I was meant to help people. And I still to this day hear him. People say I'm crazy, but if you know what I've been through and you've seen people's lives change, that I've seen people's lives change completely 360s, you wouldn't say that. You'd be amazed for a lot of things. So at this point, I'm proud of what I am now. I'm proud to say that I do have the ability to hear God and ask me to do things, or sometimes just to talk to him. I don't ask him for much when I do, because it means something. And so that's how I know.
What is a muerto?
A muerto. So when someone says they have a muerto, there's 2 different types of muertos. There are people who do black magic who can send you a muerto or a dead person. Hay gente que hace magia negra que te puede mandar un muerto, una persona que está muerta. Y en ese trabajo, lo que pasa es que ese muerto se monta en tu espalda. Entonces todo lo que tú estás haciendo se va volteando, porque ese muerto está controlando todo lo que está alrededor de ti. Aunque tú no lo sientes, está en tu espalda. Ahora, si quieres ver una noche y sabes que tienes un muerto, en la noche pon una luz como nightlight, y él se tiene que quitar de tu espalda y esconderse en las esquinas. Cuando agarras chance, agarra tu teléfono y saca fotos del cuarto rápido. Y cuando pegue la luz, hay veces que lo puedes ver. y te va a asustar. So what I'm saying is, if a muerto basically can be a good thing and a bad thing. If someone sends you a muerto, they could be to do you damage, to fuck up everything around you. And what he does is he mounts on your back. That's some really deep, dark brujeria. And when he mounts on your back, everything that you're trying to get involved in, or that you talk about, or you're going to do, or you're going to try to fix, he's already messing it up behind the scenes so that you can't move forward. He's keeping you stuck. He's making you have the worst bad luck. The cops look at you and you don't even know why, and you're getting pulled over and you crash, and just everything you could possibly imagine, even to the death. So, but there's also your muerto, because we all have a dead person, a guide, a guardian angel. We have both, a guardian angel and a dead person who's our guide, who takes us through life and tries to help us make decisions. Now, not everybody's gifted. So having a muerto doesn't mean you're gifted. Being gifted means you're able to have the ability to see and do things, and your muerto is with you, but he's also gifted, and he's one of the reasons you're gifted. So he helps you so that you can evolve into the person you're going to be, and you have to learn to control him, because he'll take you out of control. Most people who are gifted like me have either been involved in drugs or become very involved in sexual activity or stuff like that because they're overwhelmed. Completely overwhelmed with not being able to figure out what their purpose is and why they're here. And the muertos are just driving that. So it's important that you know that some people, like now that there's people like me who are guiding other people who are gifted, they're not going to have to experience that, which really takes a toll on your life down the road. It took a toll on mine because I went through that whole thing. So, and it's just because of the aura of what the nature of what magic is. It all involves rituals and sex and different things. So it's important that you guys understand that.
Chuck said, thank you for sharing and being honest. I know it's difficult. Through tragedy comes blessings.
Thank you, Chuck. Anybody else have any other questions?
Can you read anything else besides tarot cards?
I can read basically anything. Like if you threw me matchsticks, I can read them. That's how I know what's funny. I can read faces, like what's going on with people with their faces. I can read a regular deck of cards, loteria cards, anything you throw at me. The only thing I don't do is the tea leaves. I've actually never tried, but who knows? I mean, give me some tea leaves and let's see. And I'll call you on it. Yo puedo leer lo que sea, puedo leer, mechas, las cartas que son regulares, muchas diferentes cosas. Entonces, yo creo que una persona que tiene el don no es solamente para esto. Esto nomás para mí es mi guía. Sabiendo lo que yo sé en la mente ya de una persona cuando voy a tirar las cartas de ellos, yo ya sé lo que está pasando. Pero yo tengo que estar seguro con las cartas que no me indica otra cosa. So,
She went to get the food and the guy scared her.
Oh.
Chuck said, I have 2 angels, my mother-in-law and my son.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Chuck.
Can you communicate with the dead?
Can I communicate with the dead?
Yeah.
So I can. I'm not an entire medium. I'm a partial medium, which means if you come to me for a reading and you ask me that you want to talk to your grandmother or someone else, I can dial them in. The problem with that is that the energy that it takes out of me or out of anybody, I think, to be able to do that, like there's the Long Island medium, but she just basically communicates. They don't overtake her body. So she has that, she's crossed over to where she can talk to them. I can talk to them when they're dead. So if they're a dead spirit and they're looking for their way and they're trying to find where they're going, I can talk to them.
Oh, okay.
If they show up here because there's something they need to do, I can talk to them. I'd have to literally try to pull them, as someone asked me, and in order to pull them, they'll enter through my belly button, and then I feel, I don't know what you call it, euphoric, to where I'm gone. Like I'm not the same person because my energy is being expended while whatever entity's inside me is talking. And it's very scary sometimes when you're asked to bring someone, there's always other entities around just waiting to jump in. So I have to be sure that the communication is there. So if I'm telling someone something like it's their grandmother, because I actually did that with the first lady that came with me, which wiped me out for 2 weeks. She was taking care of me for like a week, like the lady, cleaning my house, making me food because I was wiped out. I couldn't even get up off the table. But where was I going with this? Shit.
About reading. Like talking to dead people.
Oh, and talking to them, I can communicate with them if they're dead. Like they need to cross over. My immediate job is try to get them there. I'm a portal. So being the portal, it means, and I used to think it was crazy. I thought it was just certain houses. But now every house I go into, there's one side of my wall that opens up, which is crazy. And I'll take pictures. I have pictures of the other apartments that we were even in the house that we were just recently at. And our closet was a portal, which was just scarier than shit. Because I have some pictures of like people like in our house. It's just crazy. But you have to understand that being that portal, I'm going to be able to communicate with them on the norm. Now, if they're walking by in my dimension or I don't get involved because I don't ask for things that I don't need. I don't want to get involved. I let them. You can cross from this side of the wall to that side of the wall. There's a different dimension, which makes it hard for people to understand. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going outside and I cross into it, I don't immediately like communicate because I don't know what the hell I'm communicating with, and I don't want to bring anything to my family. So that's the reason. Now, if they communicate with me like, hey, I need help, I kind of listen to see what they're going to say first, because there's always going to be demonic entities that want to try to get a hold of you, especially with me, because I work for God, so it makes it hard.
Well, what if those demonic entities try to communicate with you?
They have.
What do you do?
Get scared. No, I immediately turn to what you could call what God tells me to say. He tells me to say, this is God's house. You're not welcome here. I know I can approach you, but you can't approach me either completely. You need to leave here. You're not welcome. And then usually I'll give a threat. I get threatened by them, or I get told that they're going to kill me, and it is what it is. But I know that I'm safe because this is God's house, and I know I do everything for Him, so I feel perfectly comfortable. And I think most of the people that even come see me here in my house, they don't ever want to leave because they feel safe. So, and I've had that forever, right?
Like that's for sure. He's always telling me like, don't you have a home or something?
And I'm not just talking about you guys. I'm talking about even people from the past.
Yeah.
They just never want to leave. They'd spend the night. They do whatever.
They always come back.
They always come back. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean,
when you meet someone, do you automatically know what's going on with them?
When I touch their hand. So sometimes I don't want to know what's going on with people because it sucks. Like I can be driving by and there'll be people in the corner on a street and they're talking and I'll know what they're arguing about or what they're talking about or what's really going on. And it's just annoying. And I've literally tested it where I've tried to pull over and see what's going to happen to see if what I heard was true. And then I see them arguing and one's going, one would do that, and I was right. So it's just kind of crazy. But what was the question? I went off key.
When you meet someone, do you automatically know what's going on?
I don't automatically dial in if I don't have to. No, si yo conozco a una persona, yo no inmediatamente trato de saber lo que está pasando con ellos porque si eso pasa ya me entero en lo que es esa persona y en tantos años que he hecho esto también necesito agarrar mi espacio de diferentes personas porque toda la gente necesita ayuda en una manera u otra. Pero ahora si les agarro la mano, eso es diferente. Empiezo a ver cosas. No siempre les digo. I don't always tell them when I touch their hand that what's going on because I don't want to make it awkward for them and I don't want to make it awkward for me. I'm proud of who I am. If you come to me and you want something or someone off the street or you even hear about me and you want to help, I'll help you. But I'm not going to put you in an awkward situation or myself. And, you know, people want to call me crazy. And crazy built this world. So it is what it is.
Never have a TV or mirrors in your bedroom. Never
That's
have
right.
a welcome mat at your front door either.
I don't buy the TV, Chuck, but I do buy the mirrors. So you need to cover your mirrors when you sleep at night because that transforms you into the next dimension, especially your sleep. And there'll be people that come through your mirrors.
No wonder. I have nothing but mirrors in my room. I have like a big mirror next to my bed and then my furniture is made of mirrors.
That's what you know what you should do one night is just set up a camera. Set up a camera and set it right in the mirror.
What's that noise?
That makes the fence. Set up the camera in the mirror, and I guarantee you through the night, you'll see something in the mirror. You might even see yourself, but you won't be laying down.
So what other superstitions?
That's not a superstition. That's a fact.
So what other facts like that are real? Like little.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that indicates things that are real. You can tell. Like, go ahead.
Can you you can see the devil in a dream, right?
I've seen the devil in real life 3 times. And I've seen him in my dreams when he tries to get in there.
Can you see God in your dreams?
I have. Don't ask, because I'll get in trouble.
Okay,
so
sorry.
there's certain things I can't. Let's just put it this way. There's a little girl who saw Jesus, and she paints nothing but portraits of Jesus. But that's not him. So, and if you guys know anything about the devil and God, the devil's the great deceiver. And so what better way for him to become the light than to portray himself as Jesus? So you have to be really careful, because we're in a world of illusion. Everything's an illusion, and it can change into anything. I've seen the devil look like I would think he would look, dressed all in black, widow's peak, goatee, Star David hanging down, or whatever you want to call it, and just weird, just eerie looking. White guy though, he was white. And then I've seen the devil in a different form, or he's just a good looking guy, really good looking guy, dressed in a nice black suit, and comes to my house to threaten me. So he takes on different forms, just like God can take on different forms. God comes in different guises so that he can test you. He'll come to you as a bum. He'll come to you as someone that's just on your nerves to see how you handle things. He could be the person that you hate the most at work and you would never even know, because he can enter anybody at any second. So he's always waiting to test you and to see if you're vengeful or if you turn the other cheek. God plays that with everyone. Everyone. Everything in this world. So you guys know, everything in this world is a test. It's all a test.
So you can't, there's no way to differentiate between if it's him or not.
Depending on who you are. Who you are dictates who you'll get close to. The closer I get to God is because of the things that I do for him. Not just that, but because I stay close to him. I live by what he tells me to live by. And because of that, man, he's helped me through incredible things overnight. Literally. So nobody else can do that but him. Unless you go to the devil and then and he has your soul. And I'm not ever going that road. So solo estoy diciendo que Dios viene en diferentes formas, pero también el diablo. So hay que tener mucho cuidado. El diablo puede agarrar un cuerpo de una persona en unos minutos, y también Dios hace eso, pero no lo hace por esas razones. Pero después todo es una prueba. Es una prueba para ver la persona que tú en realidad es. Tú puedes decir que eres una persona bien humilde, bien amable, y que ayudas a gente. Y luego viene el momento cuando Dios viene a ti y te está pidiendo dinero. Pero no se mira como Dios, te mira como un hombre regular, todo sucio. Y tú le dices que no, aunque tú tienes dinero a morir. Entonces Dios dice, pues si yo te pregunté si tenía hambre y no me podías dar, y yo te pedí si tenía sed y no me podías dar, si vas a estar cerca de Dios, tienes que caminar ese camino. Straight up.
Chuck says, I get migraines. Do you? I am clairvoyant, and my ears ring high pitch.
I don't get migraines. I get wife grains. Those are a little different. But no, I don't get migraines. I used to get them when I was a kid. Really, really bad. Once I started really doing all this, I don't have headaches like that anymore. So, any other questions?
I get wife brains too.
No, you're gonna get a wife brain right now.
Are your dreams precursors to future events, or is it more like or can you like use it like as a portal to travel to different dimensions?
It's a very good question. Depending if I'm here or not, depending on the need. So it's really weird. When you are helping and you're working for God and you're doing stuff, he will allow you to go make an influence on certain people by traveling, or by being there, or by coming into their dreams so that they can understand something, or to show you that you can truly rely on that person. When I go into people's dreams, they'll usually get close to me because they'll realize he's real. He's going to be there for me in the end. You would know when you have a bad dream of someone that's going to hurt you, do something, it'll show up. Because your subconscious truly knows that you can read that person. You can tell they're there for you. And I think the same thing goes with everything kind of in your dreams. When you dream, I don't know how to put this. So what is your other question?
Are your dreams precursors to future events?
They are, it depends. Depending on the situation, they'll give me what's coming soon. And I think you've witnessed that quite a bit, Tony, with me. I'll tell you, like, this is going to happen. And boom. And it's without throwing the cards. So they are precursors to coming events. How you interpret them is what's most important. Because you might get a dog barking at you, and this whole time you're looking for this dog barking at you, but that's the way God's interpreting to you, that someone's going to be barking at you like a dog, whether it's at work or someone that you're driving next to or something else, and for you not to pay attention to it or for you to do whatever, he gives you an indication on what you need to do. Every dream that I've heard people have, I can relate. I can read dreams like you wouldn't believe. I love reading dreams, but I can tell you exactly where you're at and what you need to do with the dreams. So they're precursors, but they're also in the moment, and they've saved my ass quite a few times, to be honest with you.
Someone has a question.
Yeah.
Can you sense when people have similar gifts to yours?
Yes. There's an energy. It's incredible. It's like really weird. I mean, people say, I feel energy for whatever. When you feel an energy for someone else, there's the vibration that comes into your toes. Like Samantha right now. Samantha's here, she's gifted. But because I can feel the things that she feels,
I'm sorry.
and this has happened like 2 weeks in a row, my body will tingle from the waist down. So I know what Samantha's intentions are coming up. So without any disrespect, I just know. And I can read you. I can smell you. It's just really weird. Even with my own mom, and my mom used to think I was crazy until I told her, hey, go to the doctor and get checked. And it turned out she had a tumor in her throat. What happened?
Your wife.
What'd you say?
No wonder you've been so. Just like, thanks, Sam.
No wonder I have been?
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. I have been. It's been really, really bad.
Sorry.
But I mean, I take care of you guys, so I can feel the emotions you go through. Like, I know when she's going through stuff. I know when he's going through stuff. Michelle just tells me she's going through stuff.
You used to always show up at our apartment when we were fighting.
When you guys were arguing, yeah. When Moni and Tony, because they're married, used to argue, I could be in my home and I'd tell my wife, let's go. We gotta go. So where are we going? Just get in the car, we're gonna go. Well, not even in the car, they were down the hallway because they lived in the same apartments we did. But I would go and knock on the door, they wouldn't answer, and I'd be like, so I started knocking on the windows until they did, and I already knew that they were arguing. So I kind of go there and things would kind of cool off, I think, a little bit.
Things were just awkward. You knew something wasn't right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hadn't even seen you guys, but I just could feel it. It was just, it was very strong. So I'm lucky I have all 7 gifts. And that's why being made into what I was when my padrino, I'm siete rayos, siete puntos, which is, it's been 1,000 years since someone had carried that name. So I'm lucky in that way, but it's also not always lucky. It's kind of a curse sometimes. It's hard to see when people are going to die. It's hard to see when people are going to get their heart broken. It's hard to see when you see your own family going to destroy themselves. It's not always the greatest thing to know everything. But you do what you can. You know what I mean? You try to help as many people as you can.
When they stole my car.
Well, exactly. When they were going to steal Moni's car, I called her and said, hey, something's coming really quick. You better get ready. And it was 5 minutes after that, they had stolen a car. So... yeah, that was crazy. I remember that was...
He called, he's like, something's coming quickly. And then Tony went outside to get food. He's like, our car's missing. Someone stole it. I was like, shit, well, we know it came quick.
I mean, I've done that, or I can tell you, even when we went to get pizza one time, we got pizza delivered to our place. And we went to Target real quick. And while we were at Target, dude, the pizza guy's at our house. They're like, no, he's not. I go, yeah, we got to go. So we didn't even know. We didn't have phones or we didn't have anything. We would get in the car. And I go, he's going to be turning and making a left as soon as we pull up to the light. And there he was. He was heading back. So we had to chase him and get our pizza.
Chuck says, I was drawn to you.
That's awesome. I think a lot of people are. I mean, and I don't sugarcoat anything. Cuando yo tiro las cartas para las personas, yo te digo la verdad. Aunque te agüitas, aunque te enojes conmigo, aunque me mandes a la chingada, yo te voy a decir lo que es la verdad y lo que es la neta, porque no quiero que después que las cosas sí suceden como yo he visto, que me dicen, oh, tú dijiste que todo iba a estar bien. Y yo te digo si tú eres el culpable. So I'll tell you if you're the person who's wrong. If you're the one who's fucked up and you're trying to make things work, but you don't think you have to change, you guys are crazy. Every one of us has to change. Every one of us has to evolve. So I think that's a big thing that people don't know about me is
I think Chuck said something about picking up on synchronization, numbers, signs, animals, etc.
I'm not a big numbers guy. Things kind of fall in place for me the way they should. I usually have a lot of deja vu that'll tell me where I'm at. Thank you.
What do you do when your children are gifted? When can they develop their gifts?
It depends. Usually when I ask, like, God will tell me when. Like, my son is gifted 10 times what I am. He won't need anything. He'll be able to tell you everything by looking at you. He's already doing stuff now. He's only one and a half, and he's doing stuff now. He did some stuff to my daughter, which blew my daughter away. And then he done some stuff already for us. And now he's working on my brother-in-law next door to get him sober. Because he just knows he's gifted. You have to find someone like me or someone else and have them mentor that person, because there's going to be a lot of things that, if you're not gifted, that you're not going to understand. Some people think they're gifted and they may not be. They may just have good instincts or other things. Being gifted means whatever you say is going to happen is going to be right on it, and that, or the way you're going to help someone or you tell them what to do is going to change their life. If you're not doing that, or then you're not gifted. So you can have good instincts, you may be able to perceive things, but that doesn't mean that you're gifted. Gifted is a whole different story when you can crash into two different realms and be able to see what's coming with your eyes closed. It's a totally different thing. Your instincts aren't aware because you're positive of what's about to happen. When my uncle was going to die when I was a kid, I told my mom, hey, my uncle's going to die. And she got mad, and I got slapped across the face for saying that. And then it was like 15 minutes later, my mom got a phone call, and I heard her say, are you sure? And my mom started crying, and my mom came to me and apologized because my uncle had just passed away from cancer from his stomach. And I remember because I was praying for my uncle on my knees, asking God to take me instead of take him, because I didn't think I was worth the value of what my uncle was worth to the family. So that's how you kind of know. Knowing you're gifted means you have the compassion of God. You're the mercy of God. And there's some people who are gifted and should have the mercy of God, and then money comes into play and they start doing a lot of dark things so they can get paid. So, I mean, no matter whether you do good or bad, you have to pay. It's just what people are charging. And I just, like, for me, I charge for what the things I need, for the people that are around me, and for the things I gotta buy. And the rest is my energy, my time. So, there you go. Anybody else?
Are there signs that you are gifted?
Hold on, someone said, I love this group when you guys go live.
Oh, sorry.
Are there signs
Yeah.
that you're
How
gifted?
How can you tell if it's like the real thing?
You can tell, like, for me, I would say, I could be walking by a place, and I'd say, I'm going to have that. And in a week, some way, somehow, somewhere, I'd have it. Whether someone gifted it to me or someone, or I'd say, you know what? That girl's going to be beautiful next year. Or she's going to completely evolve. And my friends would be like, you're stupid. Like, she's ugh. And then everybody was trying to date her the next year because I had said she was going to blossom. And I knew that she was about to change. I could feel people's movements, body, growth, energy. Energy is everything that we are. Everything that we are made of. You know, we're made of water and flesh and everything else. But the energy is the frequency that runs through our body. So it's like tapping in to a radio wave or a sound wave. And when you tap in, you can see everything that person's doing and going through in their life, and it kind of just flashes in front of you. Like I said, the cards, the reason I think the cards are important with this is because when you throw the cards, if you're tapped into one person that you're reading for, you want to be able to tap into everybody else. And so the cards are kind of like an antenna to everybody else to be able to read them so that you can put them into perspective with the person you're tapped into. Because remember, you're only saying one person's name, but they can be asking about Fulano, and Chulana, and Chilini, and whoever else. And how do you tap into them unless you're going to be right next to them? What we do on the phone is a big thing. People are far away, and they're saying, oh my God, you're right on, you're right on. And we're right on because I'm tapped into you. But now what you're asking me for, I use the cards to tap in to everybody else. So they're really more of a guide to lead me to where I already feel to be certain for what's going to happen. Like sometimes me and Moni will be playing around, and I think the cards like fucking with me. Because I'll say, oh, look, I bet you this is going to happen because we're reading someone's thing. And then I tell them, what do you want to bet? And she'll be like, no, because we don't bet. The cards will make it be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
But it's because they're messing with me. So I have to be careful sometimes the way we play. But it's pretty cool sometimes too, yes.
Someone asked, can you cure or help depression?
Yes. But it takes a lot out of me. So, and I can't do it from afar. You have to be close to me. You have to come here. Depression is cured for me in two different ways. The retraining of the way you think and the dealing with whatever problems you're dealing with. Some people have clinical depression. My wife used to go through deep depression. And when she finally changed, and it took me forever to help her change, but when she finally did, I listened to her and I helped her because she's my wife, the depression was gone. It hasn't surfaced in a long time. When people are truly happy with themselves, even if you're not physically the way you want to be, but with the character of what your being is, I think that's when you kind of relax and you're no longer concerned with everything that's going on around you. You're concerned with you and what's immediately important to you at that point. And that's probably the most important thing. So you got to watch whose energy you cross into or who you get involved with, especially if people want you around them in a physical manner. You can take on their energy and they can destroy you. Because the moment you sleep with someone or the moment you get intimate with someone, you're also taking their energy and whatever's the energy they've accumulated, and that's some scary shit. So you got to be really careful with that.
Chuck said, mindset is everything. A changed mindset is a changed life.
But you have to be willing to be disciplined in that mindset. And so if you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk.
Preach. How do you change like the energy? I don't know if you asked the question.
Changing energy depends on the situation. Every situation is different. If it's in a relationship, then you change the energy by changing the what you call the magnitude or the dynamics that are involved with it. And the only way you can do that is to analyze the situation for what it's worth. Me being lucky that I've had so many women in my life that I've helped now in every possible different dimension or possibility there is, I think, everything. You kind of get a feeling for what's going on with them, from abandonment to abuse to, even being raped as a kid or parents not being there. You kind of know what follows with that. And it's not just clinical psychology. It's the way that person acts. It's the way they show you who they are, what they hide and what they reveal. People are very honest is because they're not very worried about how people perceive them. People who hide a lot of things is because they don't want them to see how truly broken they are and how long it's taken them to get fixed. And that makes it very difficult. Nobody wants to expose their weaknesses because usually when they do, people will hurt you. So you got to find someone you can really trust. And I pride myself on being someone that you can trust to help you in whatever direction you want to go.
Chuck asks, what do you do at work about shaking hands?
I don't shake hands anymore, thank God for COVID. So I kind of either elbow bump, or I usually have gloves on and I fist bump because I am usually on construction site jobs. So, and most people I just say what's up or whatever. So I don't really do that anymore. In business, when I had my company going, it was a little bit different. I'd have to shake hands because that's what proper etiquette is. But I don't think that's a big deal anymore, to be honest with you.
Sorry, he also asked, do you use a pendulum much?
I don't use a pendulum because I think it can be dominated by the person who's using it and made to swing whatever way they want it to swing. And pendulums also, and no offense, Chuck, those are used by the devil. So I don't like using those for that reason. Quería hacer este podcast para mandarle a todos, para que me puedan conocer bien lo que son la gente que me han seguido. Yo sé que son muchos también en español, so voy a tener que regresar y hacer edit poquito, pero por lo pronto ya hicimos eso.
Chuck said, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome,
And
Chuck.
Someone said, I have been having a lot of headaches.
It's allergy season. I mean, no offense, but if you're having a lot of headaches, you have to look at what it might be attributed to. My wife's been getting tons of headaches, probably because of me, but no, she's getting tons of headaches, and it's her allergies. So headaches aren't really a precursor to what the other side would be, or to what the spiritual side is. Now, if you were getting visions with the headaches, then I would say we got a whole different story going. I've had that happen a couple times. But again, it could be allergies, it could be migraines, it could be just changing the weather, dry weather, So, if you want to find out, you can always do a private reading with me, or a personal or a live reading with me, and I can tell you if it's anything. But I don't think from my first, even just the question and not knowing who you are, I don't think anything's wrong with you. I think you're okay, so I wouldn't really worry about it. I think it's just change in climate.